What's up, YouTube? This is Brian Pfeiffer, aka the Marketing Meathead, and today we're going to talk about an email indoctrination series. All right, welcome back. So, basically, what an email indoctrination series is, if you're not familiar, it's basically when the first time a prospect puts their email into either like a landing page or you collect an email for giving them some kind of lead magnet or they buy their first product from you of some sort, you want to give them a email sequence that basically indoctrinates them into your world. Okay, so these are people that have never probably heard of you before. They may have heard of you, but they haven't really communicated with you before, or just completely, random people off the internet that came in through a website or an ad, came up, landed on one of your landing pages. Maybe they got referred to you on some level. But the whole idea here is to, imagine being at a party and going up to a person for the first time, okay? And you wouldn't want to spit out a bunch of sales pitches to their face and be like, yo, you should, buy from me or do this. And basically they're going to laugh at you and they'll probably walk away because they're going to be like, this guy's a lunatic. So what you want to do in these indoctrination type of emails is basically just like, if you were to shake somebody's hand and have like some small talk with them, that's what this series is for. Okay, so this series is to like start to get people to feel comfortable about talking to you and working with you, and look at email as kind of like a two-way conversation between you and the prospect at a party. Okay, that's what you got to think like. It's like a conversation that you're going to have with like a new intro to somebody at an event or a party or anything like that. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I have here is like a checklist. Okay, so if you're taking notes, I highly recommend you maybe do a screenshot of this or take some notes. But these are the things that you want to accomplish in an indoctrination series. Now, an indoctrination series typically can be anywhere from 3 to 5 emails. I recommend 3. I think I got 3 or 4 set up. We're going to go over here in a second, and we're going to kind of go over the checklist as I go through my indoctrination series. And there might be some changes as I go through this list that I might make to my indoctrination series based on this list. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to say hello and thank you. Obviously, you want to introduce yourself and thank them for signing up for your list, or thank them for downloading a lead magnet or whatever they did in your initial ad or whatever to get them to come into your world. Okay, you want to set expectations and establish some kind of a whitelist. Okay, basically a whitelist is, if you haven't heard of a whitelist, it's in a lot of email systems like Gmail and whatnot, you can put certain emails into like what's called a whitelist. So no matter what, that email is going to come into your inbox. Okay, and depending on your email provider that you're using, there's different ways to do this, but basically you want to set up so that those emails come into your inbox and not go into like a promo folder. And you want to give them like specific instructions on how to set up their whitelist, and I'll show you how I've done that in my emails. You want to intro the brand and the team. Okay, so in my case, intro of myself and my team, and then my brand is Marketing Meathead. I have another brand called Progress College, which is going to be more for my educational company. So potentially I just, I don't want to flood them with too much stuff off the bat. So I'll probably just introduce myself and my brand, and maybe just, let them know that I have a team and whatnot. You want to invite them to some of your social media. So, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever it may be. Here's a little bit tricky. I have a ton of social media, and literally, like, I have so many businesses and so many different social medias. You got to be a little bit careful here not to like overdo it, because people are going to be like, yeah, right, I'm not going to click on all these. Everyone's busy, man. You got to understand that people are like opening this email, and if they even do read it, which is probably only a small percentage of the people that actually get it are going to actually read it. You don't want to like give them too much stuff to do. So you want to keep them, you want to maybe pick the top 2 or 3 most important social networks. Like in my case, probably YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and that's it. And I have Pinterest and I have other Instagrams and other Facebooks, but the top 3, that's it. On to the next. Okay. You also then want to describe the next steps for them to do. Like, are they gonna receive another email? Do you want them to go to this website? Do you want them to you don't want to, I wouldn't necessarily want to sell them something here, but you want to kind of describe what the journey they're going on is a little bit. Okay. And then next thing you want to do is you want to maybe open like a loop and be a little bit mysterious. Okay, the whole idea here is to get them to open the next email and not just delete it. Obviously, the more opens you get for your email, the better deliverability you're going to get. and more likely your emails are going to get in the inbox and whatnot. So you want to have people open these emails. That's the whole idea. You want to maybe ask a question and not give an answer. So subconsciously they want to know the answer to that question. So the next email that comes, hopefully it answers that question and gets them to, solves that subconscious problem in their head that they can't get over. They want to be thinking about like, man, I want to know the answer to that question. So that's an idea here to create like an open loop as well. All right, you want to begin a conversation and maybe request a reply. And obviously here, if you start a two-way conversation with someone, number one, make sure if they do reply, that you are replying back. So you are actually kind of initiating a conversation. If you're too busy and you got a lot of stuff going on, you don't have time to reply to these messages, I wouldn't necessarily try this. But if you're smaller and you're newer, you probably want to try to get these conversations going. A lot of people are just really surprised when someone replies back to them with, maybe they had a question or they gave you some information you were looking for and you reply back. People like really get excited about that, especially in today's world when some of these big internet marketers have so many people that are following them that they don't even reply to half the stuff that they get on their DMs, YouTubes, emails, whatever. But if you reply to somebody, people really do appreciate that. So keep that in mind. And then you kind of want to let your prospect know your voice and your whole mission and what you're trying to accomplish by getting them on your list. Obviously, there's an end goal at the end of the day, and you probably don't want to tell them that you're trying to sell them something, but you want to tell them that maybe you have like a mission to create 1,000 laptop lifestyle entrepreneurs of some sort. That's one of my buddies uses and whatnot. So that's what I was thinking of off the top of my head. I want to create super affiliates, but I probably need to sit down and define my mission a little more, so I have it in like a quick, easy to talk about or easy to email slogan type of thing. Where basically I want to create 100 super affiliates in 2019, something along those lines. That would be more goal oriented and more specific, and I think that's probably important when it comes to the mission. So that's something personally I probably need to work on, is figure out exactly what my mission is with creating this whole YouTube channel and my whole educational company, and come up with a very set, defined mission. So just by going through this exercise right now, I'm starting to get some ideas on what I can do to make my world a little bit better. So now this is a good starting point for your email indoctrination series. So go ahead and screenshot this or take notes and put these into like your I use like the iPhones, and I got the notes, and I keep like a kind of a running thing here, and maybe you have like a tab that says like email series, and then make this as like your notes. So that way, if you ever go to write an indoctrination series, instead of having to go back and find this video, which is fine if you do, I'm going to leave it up obviously, you have it right there on your phone, and you can just be like, okay, check, I got all this stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at my indoctrination series and see where I'm at here, and we'll see if we follow the rules. Okay, all right, so this is Infusionsoft. I do use Infusionsoft for my email follow-up series and whatnot. I think it's one of the more robust autoresponders, so I don't necessarily recommend that you go out and get Infusionsoft if you're new. I would maybe recommend like an Aweber or a Constant Contact or even an Active Campaign. Obviously, the little bit better and the more the CRMs do, the email CRMs, ESPs are actually called, email service providers. The better the ESP does and the more features it has, obviously the more expensive it's going to be. So Infusionsoft is kind of more on the top tier. There's even probably another level above Infusionsoft. Entreport is one. Maybe Maripost. Those are probably even maybe a little higher level than Infusionsoft. Then there's like Active Campaign that's kind of in the same realm as Infusionsoft. And then you got like your Constant Contacts, your MailChimps, your Awebers. There's a number of other internet marketers that have come out with ones. Alex Becker has an email thing. I think it's called Market Hero. Dan DeSilva has an email system for like Shopify stores called Mail Funnels. There's Klaviyo for Shopify stores. And, obviously there's like MailChimp. That's a real popular one. Just to name some of them, I know that SendLane, Jimmy Kim came out with one called SendLane. There's like so many. I know, who else? Mike Filsame and Andy Jenkins came out with Kartra. There's literally like so many to choose from. It's honestly like probably a little bit more than the realm of this this video here to like go into ESPs. I have been with Infusionsoft for like 4 or 5 years. I understand the system. It's not Confusionsoft to me. It's actually pretty easy to me and my team, and we can build out entire businesses in this as far as like carts and credit card processing and emails and automation, and if someone does this, they get this. It's really not that complicated, honestly. Once you build out a few businesses in Infusionsoft, it's actually fairly easy and pretty easy to use. So the people out there like talking smack about Infusionsoft, they're full of it. They just they just never took the time to learn it. That's all. And it's going to be the same with just about any high-end ESP. If you don't take the time to learn it, of course it's going to be confusing. Like, I didn't really take the time to learn ActiveCampaign, and I've used ActiveCampaign a couple times, and I've gotten very frustrated because I don't really know how to do this and how to do that. And that's only because I just haven't taken the time to learn ActiveCampaign. Okay, it's really that simple. If I would have sat down and probably watched all the tutorials, I wouldn't even feel that way. I'd probably feel comfortable using ActiveCampaign. Okay, so let's get started here. This is basically the Indoctrination series. When someone comes into my website, I have a pop-up. They can either sign up there, or I have like a start page on Marketing Meathead here. Let's see if we can go to Marketing Meathead, and I'll show you where these things initiate here. I got to get started here. Big bold thing, free course reviews. The process that took me from $89,000 in credit card debt to multiple $1 million businesses online, this is a true statement. So here's get yours today. You can sign up here. And if I was in an incognito window right now, obviously I use Opt-in Monster for my pop-ups, but it's recognizing that I've already been on this site before. But if I were to go into like an incognito window here, the way Opt-in Monster works is it'll recognize that it won't recognize this me, and you'll see in a couple seconds a pop-up's gonna. I think I got it on a little bit of a delay timer, so someone can scroll around, and then boom, there's the pop-up. Okay, free case study. Now, this is an old lead magnet. I actually wrote a whole new lead magnet that's going to be done probably tonight or tomorrow. We're making it all into PDF form. I just had it proofread. It's like 18 chapters on how to be an affiliate marketer, and it's really good. So I'm going to be updating all this over the weekend, hopefully, and I'll have a new lead magnet, and I'll have to go ahead and update the Infusionsoft as well with the new PDFs and whatnot. Okay, and I think I have a sign up down here somewhere. Let's see. No, I don't have one there. Yeah, just right here. I thought I had a box down at the bottom where you could sign up, but it's not showing. I do have a contact us page here where you can actually go in and contact me. But to get started on the home page is here. I got start earning today. So if you go to any of one of these pages here, the start earning today is basically the same thing as the front, and that takes you to the contact us page, okay, which is also connected. I'll show you this in Infusionsoft here. Let me go back to Infusion. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, if you go out here, I have like the contact us, the newsletter, the ebook download, and then I have let's see, this thing's kind of tricky when it's like not a full screen here. This is the ebook download, and that's the opt-in monster. Okay, it applies a tag. All right. So all these, like anytime someone goes into my website and they basically enter in, they go into this series. Okay, it's like this is the first series. Now you can have it set up where if somebody opts in on the pop-in, they get something different than if they opt in on the front page, or but that's getting pretty complicated, and I don't really think it's necessary at this point to segment out my traffic like that. But eventually, if I start really running some heavy paid traffic to this, I'll be testing some stuff, and it's possible I may add like a secondary indoctrination series to kind of test it to see which one works better. Everything's testable. You can't assume that everything's working like 100% on your first time around. Okay. Sometimes you make a few changes and it works better. It's just the way internet marketing goes. So, but the key is to get things done. Do it once. Follow this awesome checklist I made for you once, and you're going to be like 90% of the way there. Okay, so that extra 10% that can come with time when your traffic starts ramping up, or if you start making a lot of money, you can actually hire someone to go in and start split testing stuff, because it's very time consuming to do that. And this will be good enough. All right, so here let's take a look at my emails here. Notice I have it from Brian at Marketing Meathead. That's kind of the email that I'm using for this website. And make sure you have that proper. You want to have a decent subject line here. In this case, somebody had just requested the ebook, okay? And my next lead magnet that I'm working on over the weekend is going to be called The Ultimate Guide to Affiliate Marketing. So I'm going to have to change this to your requested Ultimate Guide from the Marketing Meathead, okay? So I'll have to change that, obviously, when I'm ready. And then notice this says the Facebook ad secret for 2018. Obviously, it's 2019, so this is dated. So we're going to have to update that to 2019 and whatnot. Let's take a look at the checklist here. I want to say hello. Let's see. Make sure I'm going to say hello. We're going to set expectations and maybe an intro to the brand and team. Let's see how this email looks here. All right. So congrats. Strategies I've shared. Blah blah blah. And if you've tried Facebook ads, okay. I'm not really thanking them here. I guess I said congrats. That's kind of a thank you, but it's not really a thank you. So I could probably improve on that. I could probably thank them for joining my world. And I don't really say hello here, so that's something I can improve on. Okay, so this stuff is something I can improve on. Let's see what else I said here. I'm just kind of talking about what I do. This is, some of the stuff I do. This is kind of the intro to the brand. Okay, that's because that's what I do. So that's okay. I'm checking that off the list. Here's the link to click and download. And I'm setting expectations here. So in the next few days, I'll share more tips and hacks on Facebook ads, okay? And here I'm telling people to go and whitelist Brian at Marketing Meathead, okay? So I am hitting a couple of these things here. I didn't really do that good of a job. I did say whitelist, so I did that. I kind of introed the brand, but I didn't really intro the team. I didn't invite them to social as of yet. Oops, I signed out here, so let's get out of here. And I gotta re-log in. Sorry about that, guys. It goes into the timer when I'm not doing anything, and now it's giving me an error, which is kind of funny. All right, let's get back logged in here. Sorry about that. All right, so as this thing is slowly logging in, I feel like maybe Infusionsoft went into some kind of a server update or something, because it's definitely given me a little bit of slack here trying to log in. So in that email, I definitely, I could do a better job of saying hello and thank you, okay? I did tell them about the whitelist. Now, you're going to see in the secondary email, I give them more specific instructions. I did sort of describe the next steps, okay? And remember now, not in every single email are you going to hit every single one of these points, okay? Remember, we have 3 to 5 emails, or anywhere from 2 to 5, depending on how many you want to do, to hit all these. So you want to hit everything, but it doesn't have to all be in one email, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go back into Infusion here, and we'll go into campaigns. And, okay, it's this one. All right, so we're back at it here. Sorry about that. A little login issue. It is on a timer here. So let's go back into this. All right, so there's the ebook. This is the one we were going through. Hopefully you guys are, learning something. I mean, this is like the real deal here. This is actually real emails that I'm using that are going out. I PS, I'm extremely active on my social media, so check that one off the list too. Invite them to social. Notice here I have all my social channels down here. And I'm pushing my YouTube. That's like my most important channel right now, because that's what I'm doing the most work on. So I'm pushing my YouTube here, and then I got my social channels. I am probably going to be starting a podcast over sometime in 2019, and potentially I'll put the podcast on there too, because that's some people like to prefer YouTube. Other people like to just download it and listen to the podcast. So that's something I might want to add to the emails later. Now, you can always go back and update these emails. It's not like these are set in stone. They're your emails. You can change them. All right, so that's email number 1. Let's take a look at the next one here, which is the next in the series. So this is what I'm calling the ebook requested delivery. We're going to wait at least an hour, and then we're going to send them a welcome email. All right, so this is kind of like the first email was their download, basically, and then the second email is kind of like their first email of the Indoctrination series. But I did kind of hit up some of the points on the Indoctrination even in the first email, which is their download email, okay? And I wanted to say, hello, my name is, this is where you personalize it, and then I put my name, personalize it to them. Obviously, I got a little bit of a logo here. This is going to be, again, from Brian at Marketing Meathead. And the Marketing Meathead welcomes you. Here's where to start. Okay, that's kind of nice, friendly. People like, oh, what's this guy all about? Okay, let's take a look. And I wanted to take a second to say hello and welcome to the family. That's exactly what the, it's a checkbox number 1 here. So if you want to make this into like a checkbox, boom, checkbox 1. All right, seriously, on myself and the entire Marketing Meathead team, I want you to know that we are truly excited and grateful that you've decided to join us. So that's definitely like a thank you, even more ingraining that. This is going to be an absolute game changer, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what else it says. Basically, I publish fresh, useful content to my blog. This is what we call setting expectations, okay? And so we set expectations, so checkbox number 2. And we'll send emails about new expert courses, software, other premium resources. But once we've vetted them, which is true, sound fair, good. Okay, well here we go into nice, real detailed series about how to set up the whitelist. Okay, prioritize your whitelist, telling people why it's important to prioritize their whitelist. So take the following steps. We're giving them real instructions. If you're a Gmail user, and I gave it says click here for instructions, and that link is actually let me see if I can pull that link. And shit. Let's see. There it is. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to show you what this looks like. And you can feel free to copy this, okay? This is a white list for email with dashes in between the words. And basically I got a whole thing about whitelists here. AOL, Gmail, Hotmail, everything, Mozilla Thunderbird. I don't even know if anybody uses that crap anymore. But here's a whitelist for your personal address, Netscape, Outlook 2003 and 2007, Yahoo. So I give everybody like real detailed instructions on how to whitelist, okay? So boom, check that off the list. Set expectations and whitelist, done, okay? That's number 2. Super important here to do that. Okay, so let's go back to Infusion, blah, blah, blah. And I'm asking people to join my personal YouTube, my Facebook, and my Twitter, my top 3. Probably could add Instagram in there, invite people to social, check that off, boom. All right, and my Instagram's becoming a lot more popular right now, so let me take this out of here. And I think I could probably add Instagram there, so I can improve that. I got more links to my social here. I got my blog post. Let's check the PS here. Do you know the number one reason why people fail at internet marketing? I bet it's not what you think. I'll give you the answer tomorrow. There you go. There's your open loop, okay? So check that off the list. There's a little bit of mysteriousness because people are like, "What? Why do they fail?" And we created a open loop, and we also asked a question, but we're not giving the answer, okay? So we can check 3 things off the list right there. And then, boom, P.S. If you have a second, I'd love to know why did you subscribe to Marketing Meathead, okay? And guess what I did here? Check another one off the list. Begin a conversation and request a reply. Okay, so I'm asking people to reply to this email and tell me why you're interested in internet marketing. This does a couple things for me. Number 1, it initiates a conversation from the second email that I send them. And number 2, I find out reasons why people may have got into this, and I can tailor my videos and my emails and my presentations and whatnot to cater to those people and why they joined this, because I want to help them, I want to serve them. That's the whole idea here. Okay, so that shows the that knocks off a lot on this list. Okay, we didn't talk about the voice and the mission. Okay, we did do this, and this. We didn't really describe the next steps, but we did that kind of in the first email. So we've pretty much covered all the bases here except the voice and the mission. Okay, and I really haven't talked too much about the brand and the team. So we still need a couple more to do in this list. Now we're on the second email here. Let's take a look at the third email. All right, so we got to kind of go over here. This is kind of a longer one, so let's move this over. And this is going to be email number 3. All right. All right, I don't want you to miss out on this. Basically, I have to update this for the new lead magnet. But this is telling people, like, in case they missed that first email or they never got the ultimate guide, this is just kind of another refresher. Like, hey, here's in my case, it's going to be the ultimate guide. Check out my personal website. This is another invite to some more of my social stuff. I actually have a brianpfeiffer.com website. It's pretty nice. I got some nice stuff on there if you ever want to check that out. And then an invite to the socials. This is just a real simple button email, nothing much here, just to make sure they're getting the quality lead magnet that I created. Okay, that's important. So not much here as far as crossing off the list, but it's accomplishing something. We're making sure most people don't open their emails. So the first email probably didn't get read. Maybe we'll catch them on the second time around. All right, so let's go back in. So now we're on email number 4. Let's see where we're at. And here we go. So congratulations. Well, I guess congrats are in order. Yesterday you took the first step to be a better marketer in my world, blah, 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 2 days in a row digging in. All this stuff's on timers to make sure it goes out like the next day and whatnot, and at a certain time in the morning when they're more likely to see it. You don't want this stuff going out at like midnight in the middle of the night because there's way less chance it's going to get open. All right. And you want the ESP, Infusionsoft, and the spam filters of the world. The more people that open these, the better off you are. So you want to send these out at prime time, which is typically in the mornings, is when people go through and check their emails. Okay. So over the next few days, I'm going to share stories that will inspire you, amaze you. Okay, so I'm setting some more expectations here, shock you. The number one reason why people fail to profit online, and I answer their question. Okay, that open loop. Now I'm answering it. Did you come up with an answer? I'm going to tell you. Blah blah blah. Kind of make it mysterious, and you need to make sure you read my emails. Blah blah blah. And, so I'm just basically telling people, kind of keeping them in that open loop. Social media. Oops, I almost forgot what's the answer to the riddle. Okay, I'm telling people the answer here. So I make them read the whole email so they scroll down. And the reason why they fail, obviously, is because most people don't take action. And a few days ago, I stumbled upon this video, and it's just an inspirational video, something fun to show people. And that's it. So everything's been covered on this list, but I see that I'm kind of lacking on introing people to the brand and the team. So I might have to craft that into one of these emails because I haven't really done that yet. So, just going through this list and critiquing my own emails, I found something here. So, all right, so let's go back and let's look at, I think, the last email here. I actually have two more, it looks like. Let's see what this one says. This was email number... Okay, so this is number one. That's one we just went through. And this is the final email in the sequence. So I have a 4-email sequence here for my indoctrination. And did you have a chance to watch a video? This was the video in the PS. So I give them another reminder to watch the video. It's an inspirational video. Basically, it's just inspiration. This is my last message. Or like I said in my last message, this is a journey. So here is the next step. Pushing people to my YouTube. Pushing people to a profitable campaign series that I ran, but I still am not introducing the brand. This would probably be a good email to introduce the brand and the team. Okay, so I think I'm going to improve this email and add the brand and the team into this, and then I pretty much checked off everything off the list. So, and then once that's done, basically there's another, I don't think there's any more emails after that. No, we just apply a bunch of tags. I take them out of the sequence, put them into like a master list and whatnot. So that's what these tags are. So that's how Infusionsoft works. Every email ESP is a little bit different, but that's the gist of it. So so here's a list again, guys. Make sure you take a screenshot of this. This is really like top of the food chain knowledge here on how to set up a indoctrination campaign properly. Later this week, I'm going to add another email to this, or another video to this series as I craft my conversion campaign. And then I'm going to also do another one for the Ascension campaign and possibly even a 4th campaign. And I'll put together a nice series and playlist for all of you that are interested in really learning how to do email marketing. Hopefully you guys learned something today. If you did, I would appreciate a comment below. Let me know if you have any other ideas for my emails. I would love to hear them. And if you are new to the channel, leave me a comment below. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. And if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video. And I would appreciate you guys sharing it with your friends and whatnot. I do really go out of my way to make these videos amazing. And, it's good, really, really good knowledge that you can use over and over again as you become a better internet marketer. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Bang the notifications bell. I am the Marketing Meathead. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.